All right, so we reached the first block questions, which is they show you this box and they say use the following information to answer questions 32 to 34. So basically what they're saying here is they're going to give us some information in this section before the first question that will help us on all three of those questions. So it's helpful to look at it. Carl purchased a new car. The fuel economy window sticker contained the information shown below. So this is apparently a sticker that was on his car when he bought it. It says in this figure, MPG is miles per gallon. Right, so important to know miles per gallon. Cool. So fuel economy, it says that combined city highway, he gets 25 miles per gallon. So that means for every gallon that he buys of gas, he gets 25 miles. And then in the city, he gets 22 because he has to brake a lot more, so it doesn't get as many miles per gallon. And then on the highway, it gets to go a little bit faster. Probably doesn't live in LA, but you get a little farther for your money. So then there's this other section. It says you save $3,500 in fuel costs over 5 years compared to the average new vehicle. So it sounds like this car is better on gas than the average new vehicle. And it says over 5 years, so it's not $3,500 every year. It's like $3,500 over 5 years. Means like every year you're getting 35 divided by 7. You're saving You're saving like $700 every year. Right, so $700 each year. And then it says the annual fuel cost is $2,400. So they're saying like to have this car for a year, because the word annual means yearly, right? So to have this car for a year costs about $2,400. They've done that math for you. And then there's like this asterisk. Anytime you see an asterisk, like on this one and this one, it means that there's like something else they want to say about it. So cost estimates are based on the combined city highway MPG. So it's combined based on this number. It's based on a certain number of miles per year that the car is driven. So sounds like we don't know what that number is. And an average fuel cost of $4 per gallon. So $4 per gallon might come up. So it says Carl is planning a trip in his new car that will include 350 miles of highway driving. So remember, that's the good kind. He's going to get some 32 miles per gallon. Using the average fuel cost per gallon given in the fuel economy window sticker. So using the average fuel cost per gallon. So the cost here, remember this is our cost. Which of the following dollar amounts is the closest to his total cost for fuel over the 350 miles of highway driving? So if he has to go 350 miles, we're trying to figure out how much it's going to cost him to go on his trip. So he gets 32 miles for every gallon. So I'm going to divide by 32. And when I do that, 350 divided by 32, I get 10.935. 10.93, right? This is how many gallons he's going to need, because this is the miles, and he gets this many miles per gallon. So basically, like, the miles are canceling, and we know that he's going to need this many gallons. All right, so if he needs that many gallons, and we know it costs $4 per gallon, then I'm going to multiply that number times 4. So my calculator times 4 to get 43.75, which would be the letter F. Okay, so, okay, first one, it's lots of words, but not too crazy. It says the cost estimates. So remember how they said it's going to cost this much. The cost estimates are based on a certain number of miles driven per year. To the nearest 1,000 miles, what is this number? So it sounds like it's going to cost this amount of money, right? And we get to drive some amount of miles for that amount, right? So if I have 2,400, it's going to cost me $2,400. And I remember the other thing that has dollars in it is this dollars per gallon, right? So if it's going to cost me 2,400, I could divide by 4 to figure out how many gallons that is. So 2,400 divided by 4 is 600 gallons. So I get 600 gallons. And I know that each gallon lets me go a certain number of miles. And I remember that it said that cost estimates are based on the combined city highway. It's based on this one here. So 600 gallons and 25 miles per gallon, right? Then I want to multiply those to figure out how many miles I get to go. So I'm going to do 600 times 25, and that gives me 15,000. So 15,000 is my miles, and they're asking me, like, to the nearest 1,000 miles, what is this number? So we found it, 15,000, B. And then for 34, it says, based on the annual fuel cost estimate for this car. So annual fuel cost estimate, go up here, annual fuel cost was this amount, right, 2,400. So based on the 2,400 and the estimate for how much Carl will save in fuel costs for the next 5 years. So remember that he was saving 30, I remember seeing the word save here. So he's saving 3,500. So he's going to save 3,500. But this, remember, was like over 5 years. It wasn't just like a total amount of money every year. This is how much it's going to cost him. So it says, what would be the expected annual fuel cost of an average new vehicle, right? So we're not talking about Carl's car here, right? Carl's car costs this much. But remember that that is while he's saving some amount of money. And we calculated earlier, just like on the side, he's going to save this much divided by 5 years. He's going to save $700 per year. So he's paying this amount and he's saving $700 per year. So then these two numbers together must be how much it would cost altogether. So I'm going to do 2,400 plus the $700 that he should be spending. Gives me 3,100, and I can see that that's one of my answers. Okay. Finally, I see this line right here, right? This line, if I'm looking at here, tells me that I'm done with using this information. So when I turn the page and go to the next problem, I won't be using this information anymore. Right, so this is a block. They tend to have 3 or 4 questions in them, and they're all related to the same context. Good job, guys.